I've learned with business management is that how the world is really changing so fast. As you've noticed, currently the technology is just rapidly changing. And you see how bigger companies, this is what we study as well. Like we study how Amazon is just really right there on top, how Apple is there, but how did the managers were able to decide and get into, you know, if you're the manager, you have to be there first. And it's about like, you know, scanning and seeking the opportunities and threats around you. And as a manager, you have to be quick at deciding. You can't be hesitant. You need to take courage. And I think that's really how, you know, business is. It's the challenge of being able to get there first and have that idea and have that future planning to be there on top, just like how Amazon is, how they're able to really conceptualize that they're able to, you know, be the one on top. And no one ever has thought of this. And it's just them. And now no one is able to like beat them up there. So it's also the history of how the manager was planning that. So it's part of the things that I've learned, which is still until now, I'm like, as a manager, am I able to do this? Like I question myself because it's kind of like a huge responsibility from you as someone in the management, that you need to be able to decide quickly and be able to be there first. Yeah.
It's all about decisiveness, right? To be able to
Right.
make good informed decisions. So it's not just a matter of just, you know, making analysis, and it's too late for you to make it when you make the decision. But at the same time, just rushing into decision without proper analysis, that's also equally big mistake. So to be able to fine tune between the two, and you find that that's your biggest challenge while studying business.
Right. I find that that's because how we do it and say it is that they put us in we do as if in the online, we have our own business and we compete with other classmates. So it's like a platform. And so each week there's a result and who is like on top there. So it's really hard and it was a good training for us because we get to compete. It's like a reality, like cities here in Canada, we get assigned each city and we have to analyze the city itself. So the platform is working like in a real world and you get to like decide. So it was a coffee shop and we get to decide and compete with other coffee shop of our classmates. How many did we order? How many did we waste? And then so the pricing and all of that. So I think as a manager, you need to be able to analyze and know the right rhythm or blend of all of this to be able to compete with others.
That's great. So those are like some of the business simulation games, the competitions that you can participate in. Is that like a common thing that you encounter when studying business there? Like a lot of team projects, interaction, real life simulation kind of thing?
Yes, actually. So even during my first year, we already have a lot of simulations and tests, which is actually very fun. It's very challenging. We find it very hard, but also it's like pushing us. Like this is how it's really very practical learning. We're not more in theories. Our instructors as well are very experienced in the field because they already have experience in the field. So they advise us as if what is really in reality. It's not just by the book. So they're like, yeah, this is by the book, but then in reality, this is how it is. So you as a decision maker, you as in the business, you need to think of practicality. And we always have those simulations. Even now in our second year, we have a lot of simulations and it's always group projects. Like you can't do it just by yourself because you know how business is really working with people. So you have to be in groups and learn to communicate and be successful in a group while working with a group. I know it's scary to be coming here and, you know, you don't know how it is, but to be better prepared, I think you have to just be able to really have a plan. So I think for me, what works is that it makes me feel confident if I have a plan and what do I want to do. So before I came here, I planned in, okay, maybe I'll find a job at SAIT. It's because it's more convenient for me being on campus. So that was my goal. And when you have something that you can follow, you have that path that you won't feel scared and lost. I mean, you would still a bit lost when you first come here, you don't know where to start, but also don't hesitate to ask help, because especially at SAIT, when I first came here, I just really went to the Career Advancement Center because I want to be guided, and I need help because I don't have Canadian experience and I don't know how it works here in Canada. So I just went there and also asked. But also to everyone itself, Canadians are very approachable. And if you ask them questions, like you become very curious, they're very open to sharing. Like they would love it to share the experiences, especially with, let's say I have like classmates who are already like part-time students who are coming and just studying again. They are very open to sharing your ideas. So I think as an international student, it is a very good advantage for us to take that and, ask them questions, and then you get to learn from all of their experiences. Even with the instructors, they're very open. Like after the class, you want to get a conversation with them and talk to them. They're very open to that. Right now, it's through email. If you email them, they're very open to talk about it. Sometimes there's even one point that I emailed a lot of questions to my instructor, and he just loved it, and he even talked about it in class. So I think asking questions and not being scared is one step to help you becoming like confident here in Canada. So SAIT is located in Calgary, as what I mentioned earlier. We are the 5th livable city in the world, and we have the sunniest city in Canada. So we have more sunshine here than other provinces, which is great. We have 1.4 million population in Calgary. And as I mentioned, we are one of the cleanest city in the world. And this is the downtown in the background. It's a downtown Calgary, which is really pretty. As what I've said earlier, we're the fastest growing city in Canada, and we are a cosmopolitan city in Alberta. And we are also one of the youngest populations and major cities in Canada. And we are, Calgary is one of the wealthiest, cleanest, and most livable cities. And that's also the reason is that oil and gas companies are here. So it's also an advantage for us. That's also why it's one of the wealthiest. So one of the good thing about here in Calgary is we have a really good transportation system. So even if you live in the Northwest, Southeast, Southwest, it's easy to connect because everything is just all in. It's just 2 lines. So you just switch. Let's say if you live down in the Northwest, it's easy for you to just go to SAIT. And it's not like a hard transportation because you can just take the train or the bus. And it's very near downtown SAIT as well. Just like 10 minutes, you are already in downtown. And technology is our name. We are a polytechnic, and polytechnic is really an advantage for you is because it's a practical learning. So you learn hands-on learning experience here at SAIT. It's not more in theories. And we have all the what the laboratories that are used in the companies are also what laboratories or machineries we're using at SAIT for students to practice, which is a good learning experience for you is because companies are looking for people who knows how to handle their equipments. And it's also the same equipments that we're using here at SAIT. So they're going to be more confident in hiring you because there's less training for them if they hire SAIT students. And as what I've said earlier, we've been here in 1916 here in Calgary, Alberta. So companies know SAIT very well. It already created a brand name with everybody. So when you ask where you go, they would usually just say, oh, you have to go to SAIT. They do like really good practical learning. So we have 90% graduation employment rate. We also have 2 residences. So if you're looking for a good stay, a housing that's just on campus, you don't need to take transit. then you can take our residence stations on campus. So we have library, recreation facilities, we have swimming pool and a gym. So there's a lot of things other than just studying at SAIT.
What I have to say is that, of course, if you do, for example, for bachelor degree programs, I believe that our English language requirement will be 6.5, and for diploma program is 6.0. So if you do meet requirement for both of these options, you can apply directly for diploma or bachelor degree in the beginning. But anyway, so think carefully about that, because for bachelor degree programs, of course, you will have to study a lot of coursework, and there's a lot of things that you have to get familiar with, academic knowledge and things like that. So basically what I have seen from international students in general, they normally take diploma first, because for diploma programs, the class size is pretty small, and then you will learn things very basically. You get a lot of support from your instructor, from your faculties. You will learn things, of course, step by step, and it's easy for you to get familiar with academic knowledges, with the teaching instructions and things like that. So you learn basic things first, and then when you get familiar with things here at SAIT, and of course you learn practical things from diplomas programs. And then if you feel that, okay, I'm kind of be well enough to learn more extra knowledges, and you want to learn extra courses, you can feel free to attend to apply for our bachelor degree and study like 2+2 later on. So it really depends on you, but anyway, so that's what I have seen from international students here.